everyone, we're here today to talk with one of our product managers, Tim John, about a new feature that we're really excited about. This feature has been requested by a lot of our users, and it enhances our Shopify deep data integration, and that is abandoned cart. So Tim, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy to be here.
So before we get into the feature, can you tell us a little bit more about why someone would abandon their cart?
Sure. Many reasons. The top ones, though, are probably shipping. Someone throws something in their cart, you go to the checkout, you want to finish your purchase, and the shipping options presented are a little bit higher than you expected. And so that's enough to simply change their mind and they move on. Second is if you are forced to create an account on the store. So sometimes you get to the checkout and the first thing you need to do is create an account for that store. Nobody wants to do that. So a lot of people will leave. Another reason, complicated checkout process. Just in general, if you have a very complicated checkout process in your store, that can mean multiple pages or tons of fields. The person checking out is just overwhelmed and they end up leaving. And then last but not least, there's oftentimes people just aren't ready yet. They think they're ready. They see that beautiful guitar and then they throw it in their cart and then they're like, actually wait. And it can be any combination of all sorts of reasons, but at the end of the day, they get to the cart and they realize I'm not actually ready to purchase this right now.
Okay, so can you tell us how this new feature will help our clients when someone abandons their cart?
Sure. Did you know 70% of carts are abandoned?
No, I didn't. That's
70.
a lot.
Yeah, it's tons. It's insane. And one of the best ways you can recover those carts and get people to finish their purchases is by simply reminding them with an email, usually after the abandon. Between 10 and 30% of carts you could actually recover. So ActiveCampaign's here to save the day.
Oh.
So two main areas here. We're going to offer an abandoned cart automation trigger. It does what it sounds like. If someone abandons a cart, it triggers an automation. That's going to be huge because now you have this whole opportunity in front of you to act on the fact that someone abandoned the cart. That's really cool all by itself.
Yeah.
But what makes it really cool is we're going to add a block to our email designer called abandoned cart. You can now send emails that have abandoned cart product data in them. This is accomplished with a new designer block we're providing in our email designer. So when that automation gets triggered, you can send out an email that actually has the picture of the guitar, the name, the price, and more importantly, a link, a button back to the checkout where your contact will hopefully go, realize I am ready for that guitar, and they'll buy it and you'll have nothing to worry about.
Wow, that's really cool. So can you show me how it works?
Sure.
Okay, great.
So let's take a look at the automation trigger. In our trigger modal here, where you decide how a contact will enter an automation, we have a new one over here called abandoned cart. So we click that. And then this is the cool part. We're going to give you a bunch of options here. You don't have to choose anything. You could just hit add start and move on with your automation building. But if you have more than one store connected, you could choose what specific store you want to trigger this automation. You can also narrow down what specific types of products. So maybe I want any product name that contains the word guitar. You can also narrow down by product category. So maybe I want to do any cart that's abandoned where they had a product in the category containing, musical instruments. And then you can also narrow down by cart value. So this is kind of cool because you could treat people differently depending on how much money they spend. So let's say if they spend more than $500, trigger this automation. So I hit add start. And that's it. So that means this automation now is going to trigger from that specific Shopify store if their product in their cart is called guitar or in the musical instruments category. And if it costs more than $500, the whole automation will run through.
Cool.
So then the cool part really is now that I've triggered the automation, I can set up emails in the automation that send with the abandoned cart product data. So let's take a look here. If I go to edit this email, here's my nice little email. This is just kind of a basic template here, nothing fancy, but I'm going to drag in on the far right here at the bottom of our available blocks. You see a new one called abandoned cart. I'm going to drag it in right here. And the first thing that pops up is this new modal called the abandoned cart builder. And there's a few things here. I don't want to get too far into it, but basically you can customize the way this block looks in terms of how the product information shows. So we're going to default to showing the image, to showing the name, price, description, quantity. We'll show the return to checkout button. And then on the preview tab, we actually show you what that would look like. So you could move around the product name or hide the image, and we would show you right here what that'll look like. What's really cool though is you can actually sort the products that are shown in that block. So if you want to show, you could do it alphabetically, you could do it by the most expensive product on top, the least expensive product on top. And then, even cooler, you could show all the abandoned products, or you could limit it. So limiting is nice because if someone abandons like 7 products, that could get long in an email. So maybe you just want to show the top 3, and that's it. And then in addition to configuring that, you can also treat this like a regular old block. So you can actually change the color of all this. You can change the font. You can change, whether or not it's bold or italic, all that stuff. So this is fully customizable. And hopefully it will help you make more money by recovering more carts.
That's really great, Tim. Thanks for showing me.
Yeah, happy to help.
Fist bump?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. If you have any questions about abandoned cart, click on the link at the end of this video to schedule a demo.
We're supposed to talk like news anchors now.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
And hopefully they'll fade out the audio by now.
I
Otherwise,
hope so.
this is awkward.
This is so embarrassing.